I'm Umi, and welcome back to my PinkPantheress dress-up game series. If you're new here, hello, nice to meet you. And if you're a subscriber or a frequent viewer, hey, it's good to see you again. If you haven't seen the previous videos, definitely check those out first through the playlist. They'll give this episode some context. So, quick recap. In episode 1, I talked about sketching the sprite and how her undergarments were inspired by the Skims ad she did. I also chose this pose because she does this sometimes, and honestly, it's just easy for me to draw. Convenience wins. Now we're finally focusing on the pink sprite line art, rendering and outfit design. I realized pretty quickly that the default undergarments were going to show underneath certain outfits, especially crop tops and skirts, so I switched them into a simple bra and underwear. It just makes the dress up process easier later on and avoids awkward clipping moments. While I was drawing the line art, I noticed something that always happens to me. The sprite doesn't look as cute anymore. The sketch had so much personality, but once I started outlining it, everything suddenly looked a bit flat and empty. Sometimes the line art doesn't hit the same way as the sketch does, and I don't know if other artists relate, but it's such a real struggle. I ended up redrawing certain lines over and over until I'm finally happy with how it looked again. For the rendering, I added the base colors, soft shading, and tone blending and highlights. I chose long honey blonde hair as her default hairstyle because that's her signature look right now, especially in her Fancy That era. Not gonna lie, it's giving 2003 Beyonce in the Me, Myself and I music video. Also, while I was rendering her bold before adding the hair, it reminded me that whole discourse online, especially on TikTok and X, about her shaving her head through a wig.
PinkPantheress, what would you like to bring to Henry's hotline?
Well, I actually shaved my head today.
You shaved your head?
Shaved.
That is huge news.
It is actually, and I'm going to show you a picture just so you know what I look like.
Okay.
Shaved head. But regardless, that isn't what that's gone.
Okay.
What? So it is related to that.
I'm just going to tell you, you know?
No, it is related to that. Hold on, let me show you a picture. I look like
okay, but your
boy.
face is facing, man. Come on now.
Thank you, but the hair's not hairing.
Well,
there's no hair left. But besides that.
So underneath this hair, this is a wig. I want to show you kind of slightly, but I don't want the camera to actually pick up on everything.
Do you want to hide?
There you go. You see that?
Okay, so it's shorter.
So you see this is my natural hair underneath. This is a reveal. I've never done that before.
Oh!
And I feel like a lot of people are now going to not be able to unsee. But yes, my natural hair underneath is really short. Like,
and what is the length? Like here?
Oh, like yours, literally. Like,
and then why do you need to cut it?
Because it's too long. Because that's the thing
it doesn't work with wigs then?
It does. Well, for me, you don't want to. It's just there's a whole climate in here, and I'm telling you, if the hair's too long, then it bunches too much and it makes the wig look too thingy. So you kind of need to like.
Got it.
And look, even right now.
I don't know, I think she just likes being bold.
What is your favourite memory from making the mixtape?
One evening after the tape, I did some recording. I decided I shaved my head. I shaved. Yes, I shaved my head. That's it. And it was so much fun. It felt like I was letting go of like a previous version of myself. I shaved my head. It was so freeing. It was amazing.
Before I move on, I quickly wanted to show the evolution of the sprite. I didn't make huge changes, it was mostly polishing and adjusting the clothing garments, but I think it was still fun to see how she was developed. So here's the first sketch, then the line art, and finally the rendered version. I choose to draw her in a chibi style because it's cute. It fits the vibe of the early 2000s dress-up game, and honestly, it's way easier than doing a full realistic sprite. Since this is my first dress-up game, I didn't want to overwhelm myself with something too complex. The chibi style keeps things simple, expressive and manageable. I used my mood boards and Pinterest to pick the outfits I wanted. I wanted to start small but still give the players variety and replay value. So I drew 6 tops, 6 bottoms, 3 dresses, 7 shoes, 5 hairstyles, 8 accessories, and 3 handbags. Originally, I wanted pants and skirts to have a separate category, but I realized that I didn't have enough buttons for accessories, and I didn't have enough skirts to justify a whole category anyways. So I merged the pants and skirts together and used extra space to add an accessory button. Accessories also have a subcategory, necklaces and bracelets, so the players don't have to scroll through one giant list. This will make the click and select mechanic much smoother. I don't want to spoil too many of the outfits I picked for the game. I want the players to have a little moment of surprise, but I'll share two pieces. The first outfit is the white look from her debut era. I love the outfit, and since it's part of her official introduction to the world, it feels right to include it. The second outfit is the red shirt with the red skirt. This one is tied to her current album aesthetic and it's really cute. I wanted the wardrobe to reflect different eras of PinkPantheress so players can mix and match depending on the vibe they want. So while rendering, I had to modify some clothes because they overlapped the arms. So I duplicate the clothing layer and cut out the parts where the arms should show. I also duplicate the outfits again for the wardrobe preview. I didn't want the players to see the red top cut out where the hand sits, it ruins the illusion for me, but that's just my personal preference. One of the biggest challenges was keeping the clothing portions consistent. Because the sprite is chibi styled, even small changes can look off really quickly. I also had issues with clothing and hair overlapping in weird ways, like the arms or shoulders clipping through certain tops, so I had to cut out specific sections and adjust the layers to make everything fit properly. It took a bit of trial and error, but it was worth it. Even though I'm really happy with how everything is turning out, there are still things that I want to improve in the future. The main one is adding more clothes to increase replay value. I wanted to start small so I wouldn't overwhelm myself, but later on I'll love to expand Pink's wardrobe with more clothes, accessories and even animated poses. But for now I'm focusing on getting the core game polished and functional. And that's everything for this episode. In part 4, I'll be talking about adding clothes into the game and polishing the mechanics. If you enjoyed this series, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time!